Hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Are they going to get the shift points right? Are they going to have the logos in the place, the right rubber on the car?
Yeah, all that authenticity that helps you to really escape in that world.
You sure you want to do this?
A lot has changed.
Can you squeeze another one out? I'm talking about a movie.
Yeah. Yes, we can if we approach it with the same integrity that we did this one.
Well, Freak Nation, if you haven't gathered from the intro that we put together on MAV TV, if you're watching this, we're celebrating 23 years of Speed Freaks. We've been kind of hinting at it over the last few weeks, but tonight is the actual night that we debuted as Statman is holding up a toast, which it might be some good old Columbia moonshine that he's got at his greatness. It's even one of those moonshine jug bottle thingamajiggas, Statman.
Yeah, it's the 23rd anniversary. You got to celebrate. I got some black cherry shine from the deep in the woods. What can I tell you? This is celebration time.
Oh, it happened 23 years ago, right at this time in Los Angeles. One radio station, KLSX, the Howard Stern station at the time, where we debuted a show. There were 4 of us on air. There was a gentleman who's been with us from before and still with us, the Triple F. There were 5 of us that put this thing together, and holy smokes, 23 years later, we're doing this from the Freak Radio Network to Speed TV, ESPN, ESPN2, Speed Vision, the MAV TV, of course, where we are now.
Some random CBS, NBC sports shows.
Yes.
Yeah, but then, of course, MAV TV, bringing it in, baby.
We got us a cup race going on, Freak Nation. It is still going on as we speak. There's 7 laps to go. Ross Chastain about a second ahead of Martin Truex Jr. We'll get to the results on that. Talk a little bit of NASCAR, a little bit NHRA, a little bit of two-wheel Moto America, which I hope you caught on MAV TV earlier this afternoon, as well as Formula D and the Trans Am Series. We'll talk some of that coming up in the show. But frankly, it's going to be pretty vain. It's going to be a pretty freaking vanity. It's going to be the Vanity Freaks for 2 hours. You follow me?
But we're doing it. Okay, fine. We're celebrating ourselves that we are now 23 years old as a show.
Yeah.
But we're doing so with interviews that are fun and funny and people will enjoy.
Kenny Wallace from 2006. He will be here in the Freak Nation. Steve Kinser from 2005. 20-time World of Outlaw champion.
He was only 19 at the time.
At the time, sorry. Now he's 20. He's the only one closest to us at 23 years.
Ooh.
As far as big-time numbers go. We're going to have John Force and Ashley Force.
Speaking of big numbers.
At the time, he was 14-time World Funny Car champion, 2007. And should we kick it off sometime this hour with Evel Knievel?
Ooh.
Do we kick it off? The visuals aren't there. The audio is there because it was originally just a radio show back in 2002. I don't know. Regardless, that's where we're going with the show. Evel Knievel, Kenny Wallace, John Force, Steve Kinser, and it's 23 years of doing this madness.
Well, hold on just a second.
Okay.
Because you knew Lugnuts and Statman. You had worked with them in the past, bringing them onto the show to do this ridiculously wild, fun, crazy, personality-based motorsports show back in 1999 and the year 2000. You guys auditioned me. And I remember, so the girl part was not really solidified until you went through your series of auditions. But I remember in one of my sit-downs with you guys, Kenny, you were just going over the top about how much you loved Evel Knievel. So essentially, Evel Knievel was kind of, at least that edginess was the foundation of why you started Speedfreaks, I would imagine. So heck yes, if that's true, then we need to put him in this first hour.
And even in the interview with Evel Knievel, it was a two-parter, or back when we had 20-minute segments on radio stations across the country. It originally was 17 minutes long. We cut it down to like 6 minutes. And in that interview, I talk about it was Evel that really cranked up the motorsports gene in my loins at the time.
There's some verbiage for you.
Oh my gosh, that it was Evel Knievel. Okay, then we'll do that. You know, why not? It's
he needs to be first and foremost because he's kind of the reason that you started this show.
Correct.
Did you keep the part about the LaGrange edition of where he grew up?
Oh yeah, and we say those words. They're FCC, SEC, NFL, SWC, WFAA safe, stat man. I mean, those words are safe. Those words are safe. The LaGrange. Nice job. Yes, we did, Freak Nation. I do hope that you guys can stick around for 2 hours and enjoy us just wallowing in our 23 years. A
lot's changed in these 23 years. Mm-hmm. When we started this show, there was no such thing as a smartphone. There was no social media whatsoever. There was no high-speed internet.
Right.
We were still faxing each other things. We were working with dial-up internet. I mean, come on.
Most important thing is that we were all in one city in Los Angeles, and we'd even go out to eat when we got finished on Sunday nights, and we can't do that anymore.
Okay, hold on. Let's go with some racing references.
By the way, Ross Chastain wins Nashville.
Oh.
We'll talk a little bit about that coming up this hour.
I should have picked him and beat the Freaks. Dang it.
All right, somebody didn't pick him, so wait a minute. That might have won.
Hold on. Squirrel. Okay, bring it back. Bring it back. Crash, go ahead.
All right, so for some motorsports references, when we started this show on this day, June 25th, in the year 2000.
Yeah.
Remember that? What's his face? Late night talk show, whatever.
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, him. Mm-hmm. IndyCar was split into two series. Fox and NASCAR had zero relationship. Michael Schumacher was only beginning his reign in Formula One. And NHRA was racing funny car versus Top Fuel just for kicks.
Right.
I mean, that was a long time ago for all of that.
And Lewis Hamilton was probably still in school.
Oh, without question.
Well, Suave, 23 years ago. And again, Crasher, I know his age, but just it's part of the bit. You know, you don't have to bust me every time. It's just part of the bit. Richie, how old were you when we started 23 years ago?
You ask me this every year.
Yep.
I was 9 years old. So I was fourth grader at the time.
You were our daughter's age.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, let that resonate, stat man. Suave was Henley's age.
Whoa. And that's another thing.
Henley used to be the size of a loaf of bread. I don't know if Suave could ever be the size of a loaf of bread.
Kenny and I, yes, marriage came about because of Speed Freaks.
Right.
But yeah, you fired me about 6 weeks into the show. We didn't get along very well at the beginning.
Right.
But that changed. And now look, we have a 9-year-old.
She remembers that discipline, doesn't she?
Oh, I can't forget that. I deserve to be fired, though.
So Freak Nation, Evel Knievel, Kenny Wallace, John Force, Ashley Force, Steve Kinser, and many a commentary throwing it back within the last 23 hours in the next hour and 51 minutes here in the Freak Nation.
23 years.
23 years. Sorry about that. So I hope you enjoy this show. Again, Ross Chastain with a big win. Crash Gladys with the roundup of pit news and notes come up, including Moto America, which you saw on MAV TV, Trans Am, which you saw on MAV TV, and Formula D. Speaking of Formula D, Crasher, was this the first-time winner?
Well, you'll have to listen to the news and notes.
Got it.
Can't just give it all away right now.
No, we can't. And if you see flowers behind me, if you're watching us on MAV TV, that's a beautiful arrangement with Crasher. Tell them what the roses, we're talking what the flowers are, some beautiful checker flags.
We got this arrangement yesterday sent to us, complete surprise, congratulating us for 23 years on the air. family is a wonderful thing.
Yep.
Julie and Mike.
House of Badass, Freak Nation. And I hope to do this.
That's a new series on Netflix, isn't it? They've been promoting that.
We got about a minute and a half before we go to our first break as 23 years old. In this show, Stat, Crasher, there are two people that know that I hope two people within this realm that know about this. I hope we can get it done. If Ryan Reynolds can do it, Will Ferrell can do it, then I think we can do it for our 23rd year. Does that give you any clue, Stat Man?
Totally lost.
None whatsoever.
Okay. I hope to get to that the last segment. Suave, I'm going to need your help on this. You being the aficionado in this, okay?
I'm excited. Okay. Big day for the Freaks tonight.
It
big
is.
Day.
Not just 20. Listen, 23 years, you've got to be able to just we stepped off the edge of the cliff 23 years ago. It still haven't freaking landed.
No, right.
So why not step off again last part of the show, I hope, and break some news here in the Freak Nation. All right?
Okay.
Follow us on Twitter, which wasn't there 23 years ago. Follow us on Facebook, which wasn't there. It's fun going back and watching some of these old videos that we did and listening to some of these interviews where we talk about MySpace.
Oh my God.
It's stupid.
But even MySpace didn't exist when we started 23 years ago.
But
so.
it started, 2002, 3, something like that?
We were on message forums.
We had the head of Napster on the show, on our show many, many years ago. All right, when we resume, Ross Chastain and Eva Longoria. It'll all make sense.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
If it's a weekend and there's motorsports involved, you know what that means for us. More travel. More travel means not a great diet. We're feeding off media center food where there certainly is a lack of fruits and vegetables.
Kenny, that's where Field of Greens comes from. These little jars save us on the road. This is real fruits and vegetables ground up so easy that you just mix it with your favorite drink of choice. It could be as simple as water. These guys keep us healthy on the road.
Real, organic fruits and vegetables. It helps you with your heart, metabolism, your immune system. It's all right here in Field of Greens.
But hey, don't just take our word for it. Take Field of Greens yourself. And if you go to your doctor a month down the road and he or she doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? Your health is incredible. Keep it up. Then send it back. Full refund.
Go to fieldofgreens.com. Use code FREAKS for 15% off. And for recurring orders, an additional 10%. That's 25% off with the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 Worldwide Technology Raceway is not just a race, it's a spectacle.
Here we go! In St. Louis at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
It's time to mark your calendar. Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th.
Joseph Newgarden wins back-to-back years at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Lucas Oil, thank you very much for being a part of these 23 years. Damn near all of those 23 years, Lucas Oil has been a part of this show. And we can't thank Lucas Oil for continuing to support the Freak Nation. So much so that if there was a Lucas Oil piece of clothing that I haven't worn, well, then damn it, send it to me, will you? I've got plenty of Lucas Oil clothing, including my hat. You notice I was going somewhere and I pulled it right back in with that, don't you? Yeah. Nice job, Kenny. Nice job. I thought, I don't want that sponsorship to end just yet.
Well, good thing it went.
So, yes, Lucas Oil, thank you very much. LucasOil.com, a great website to check out. Plenty of products to keep all of your rides fat and happy. 2 wheels, 4 wheels, your boat. Go to LucasOil.com. I mentioned Eva Longoria as opposed to Eva Longoria. The connection of Eva Longoria with us over the last 23 years, we'll get to that. Also, Evel Knievel, who indirectly was pretty much responsible for this show. We'll get to that. Steve Kinser, at the time, 19-time World of Outlaw champion for 2005. We'll get to that interview. Kenny Wallace from 2006. John Force from 2007 with his daughter, Ashley. It's going to be a hell of a show. But first, let's get into some Crash Gladys pit news and notes brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Go to GeneralTire.com. It's GeneralTire.com and check out the line of tires for your rides. It's hot as hell out there for a lot of folks here in the Southwest, man. Make sure you're rolling on a new set of rubber from General Tire. Go to GeneralTire.com. Crasher?
All right. Well, motocross and IndyCar each had the weekend off, but pretty much everybody else was on it. Moto America in the Pacific Northwest. Jake Gagne, oh, hey, shocker, winning race 1, and then Cam Beaubier with race 2. And I remember you, Kenny, and towards the beginning of race 2, you were, Beaubier's off. Well, he came back to win it. Head to MotoAmerica.com for the full stories. Trans Am race Saturday at Mid-Ohio, then TA2 on Sunday. On Saturday, it was Chris Dyson with the win, besting Justin Marks to the point. And then Rafa Matos won from the pole in TA2, tying the record for most wins in Trans Am 2 history. IMSA raced the 6 hours at the Glen, of which the final half was whack. I mean, bottom line, 4 manufacturers vying for the win in the final 3 hours. That's kind of unheard of. But then again, We say that, I feel like, every year with endurance racing. Bottom line, though, it was the Penske Porsche driven by Nick Tandy and Matthew Jaminet who were on top of the box. So many stories.
Hold on just a second.
Yes.
His last name is what?
It's probably Jaminet, and I just butchered it. Statman, help me out here. Jaminet? Jaminet. Okay.
Jaminet. Come on.
23 years. One thing I've done consistently, butcher names. So there is that. Sorry to you, Matthew. Racer.com, where you can read it as Jaminet. And all the stories and all the behind-the-scenes goods from all the classes in IMSA. Head there now. All right, driving his 2018 Wolf TSCFS, powered by a 2.1-liter Honda Turbo.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Schutte summited Pikes Peak, did I say that right? 156 turns in 8 minutes, 40 seconds to earn his 4th King of the Mountain in the last 5 years.
That should be a driver's name. Schutte Jaminetti. Why not? Schutte Jaminetti.
Okay.
I might just adopt a kid. Just call him Schutte Jaminetti.
It is kind of a badass name. I think that's where
Statman got his hooch from, the Schutte Jaminettis.
All right, sure. That is another thing we've done in these last 23 years. We've picked out names of drivers that we really love, and Brabham and Gronholm.
Gronholm.
Oh, yeah. Gronholm's still your...
Going to the toilet. Got a bad Gronholm coming.
Drop a Brabham. Nope, it's Gronholm today.
Yeah.
You're so bad.
Field of Greens helps with that, man.
And that's another thing we haven't done in 23 years. Grow up. Barely. All right, let's stick with some turns. Formula Drift was at Englishtown. Yes, Kenny, a first-time winner. Adam LZ with his first ever Formula D win. Rounding out the podium was Simon Olsen and Matt Field. Get this, Matt Field now leads the points by a little bit over 40 digits, I believe. Speaking of Formula E raced Portland International Raceway, recording this is real. This is absolutely real. 403 passes in one singular event.
Whoa.
Hello, Nick Cassidy, your winner, driving from 10th to 1st with a lot of those passes on his resume. Just, I don't know if we're going to get to it, but there's a lot of stuff out there about Michael Andretti. He's really working hard to push for better coverage and better races and American access for Formula E. He's also in talks to join the NASCAR ranks. And of course, we know that Formula One is supposed to give him an answer, yes or no, if he can join their family, coming up in the next month. So Michael Andretti all over the place. Again, racer.com for all those goods. NHRA raced. Where did they race? Norwalk. Woo! Mind blown right there. Summit Equipment Nationals. Leah Pruitt getting her first win of the year in Top Fuel. Blake Alexander in Funny Car. Matt Hartford in Pro Stock. And Hector Arana taking a win where his dad won his first ever trophy in Pro Stock Motorcycle. And in NASCAR, it was Carson Hocevar winning the trucks at Nashville. AJ Allmendinger with country singer Bailey Zimmerman's face smashed all over the back of his car, winning in the Xfinity Series. And you're seeing it right now if you're not watching MAV TV, but you are watching MAV TV because we matter more than Ross Chastain, who just took the NASCAR Cup Series win, the third win at the Nashville Superspeedway.
Ross Chastain with a big win in Nashville, Freak Nation. And speaking of Nashville, I believe our interview with John Force in 2007 was from the Mac Tools Tool Fair in Nashville. So we'll get to that coming up in the show.
Those were good times.
I mentioned Eva Longoria and the significance that she's had with this radio show and TV show. Again, we're celebrating 23 years, Freak Nation. Thank you, MAV TV, for being the home, the visual home. And, of course, the Freak Radio Network, all of you guys, for allowing the Freaks to come in on your abode every Sunday night. When Stat and I got together, we got together with a friend of ours at the time who was pretty much didn't know squat about motorsports, but we knew that he could help us stir it up. When we created this thing called Speedfreaks, nothing out there was like it. Still, there's nothing that's even tried to be like it. It might be a good sign of why in the hell do we continue to do this thing. But when we started the show, we needed the fourth cog or fourth pillar of the foundation, and we needed a woman to create Speedfreaks, because when you got a comedian doesn't know squat about motorsports and not afraid to go after any driver, any team owner, you've got a black man, you've got me with 2 earrings and multiple hair shades and styles. You needed a woman to roll through the pits to stir it up, a woman that knew her stuff about motorsports. And we had over 100 applications in Los Angeles. We narrowed it down to 6. And several years ago, when I was looking through the files of Speedfreaks, I saw the final 6 that we had lined up for interviews. And one of those that were part of the original 6, bang, Swabby, the original 6, blew me away when I saw her headshot. If you're watching us on MAV TV, right there, Eva Longoria was in the running to be Crash Gladys. That's right. Eva Longoria. Wow. Not just one, but 2 headshots they sent me.
Oh, yeah.
And the Post-it note is not on here, but the Post-it note that came with this was, she can learn motorsports. Well, the good news is, for her, I guess, and for me, frankly, and for Speedfreaks, is she didn't learn motorsports. She did catch our eye, but not enough to take the version of Crash Gladys that we've grown to love for the last 23 years. And I would be remiss if I didn't show Crash Gladys's original headshot. Stat man, I don't know if you remember this, but again, if you're watching us on MAV TV, there is Crash Gladys and her original headshot. Is that your riding, Crash?
Oh, there? That is.
Motorsports fanatic and former kart IndyCar employee. Dang.
Wow, check that out.
So I'll go back to 4 shot, will you?
Oh, boy.
Stat, you remember that headshot there, buddy?
I never saw the headshot. I was too busy pouring oil into her broken down car.
Right.
My Cristo, yes.
Yeah, trying to keep it running.
My 1982 Toyota Tercel that was probably 6 or 7 spray painted shades with Cristo on the back license plate, cow fur seats, and it took a lot to get running.
23 years ago, I'm sure Eva Longoria, she didn't have a freaking Porsche.
Porsche.
Maybe she had a dog called Portia. She could learn motorsports, man. Coming up next, the dude who helped start this thing is no longer with us, but he's the greatest daredevil ever on this planet. The original badass, Evel Knievel, will join us coming up next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios. 3, 2, and 1.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
If it's a weekend and there's motorsports involved, you know what that means for us. More travel. More travel means not a great diet. We're feeding off media center food where there certainly is a lack of fruits and vegetables.
Kenny, that's where Field of Greens comes from. These little jars save us on the road. This is real fruits and vegetables ground up so easy that you just mix it with your favorite drink of choice. It could be as simple as water. These guys keep us healthy on the road.
Real, organic fruits and vegetables. It helps you with your heart, metabolism, your immune system. It's all right here in Field of Greens.
But hey, don't just take our word for it. Take Field of Greens yourself. And if you go to your doctor a month down the road and he or she doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? Your health is incredible. Keep it up. Then send it back. Full refund.
Go to fieldofgreens.com. Use code FREAKS for 15% off. And for recurring orders, an additional 10%. That's 25% off with the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway is not just a race, it's a spectacle. It's time to mark your calendar. Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. 2023 is bigger and better than ever before. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
As a trucker, you've seen every kind of road condition out there. One of the toughest is icy, freezing weather, which can thicken diesel fuel and plug system filters. That's why you need Lucas Anti-Gel Cold Weather Diesel Treatment. It prevents fuel gelling at extremely cold temperatures, lowers the cold filter plugging point of diesel and biodiesel fuels, and removes moisture from the entire fuel system. In turn, you get maximum performance and reliability. For more info, visit lucasoil.com. Lucas Oil, keep that engine alive.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Evel Knievel coming up in moments. I know that Ross Chastain, of course, won in Nashville. We could talk a little bit about that during the show. But it's just crap hot out there. Big win, first win of the season. Right now, he's in the playoffs. We'll see how that goes throughout the rest of the regular season. Again, Ross Chastain, the big winner in Nashville. I'm the big winner with Field of Greens, and you could too. Right now, use the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com, and you'll get 15% off real organic fruits and vegetables in a powder. Throw it in your shakes. Throw it in your tap water. It'll take care of all your metabolism issues. Okay, some
Health
of your metabolism
overall.
issues that you might be having. Yes, correct, Crasher. Go to fieldofgreens.com, real organic superfood. Fieldofgreens.com. I use it twice a day, and I'm regular. Yep, go to fieldofgreens.com. Keyword.
It's not about regularity for me. It's just about getting your greens in because I eat like crap.
Heart healthy, liver healthy. Fieldofgreens.com. Use code word FREAKS. All right. Evel Knievel joined us in 2002. And as you'll hear at the beginning of this interview with Evel Knievel, he was, all right, I'll give him a high percentage of really why I got involved in motorsports, or the love of motorsports, the love of Daredevil, the love of madness on 2 wheels, 4 wheels. It was Evel Knievel. And we had him on the show in 2002, Freak Nation. And we're going to play about 6 minutes of that highlight, 6 minutes of a 17-minute interview. It is absolute greatness with the greatest Daredevil in the history of mankind. And I'd argue the greatest dude to ever put a couple legs over a motorcycle, a Harley Davidson. Evel Knievel here in the Freak Nation.
There's a guy that described him perfectly. He was a high school dropout, an award-winning athlete, a petty thief, a motorcycle racer, a political activist, but damn it, he's one of the most unique heroes to earn a place in the collective psyche of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the Freak Nation, Evel Knievel. Evel, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I am, and if I lose you, my phone might drop a call. You call me back.
You bet, partner. Evel, today is my mother's birthday, and
Happy birthday, Mother.
There you go. She was the one. I owe this entire Speed Freaks motorsports empire to my mom and my dad. My dad was the guy that took me out to see the Daredevil shows and the motocross and the drags and so forth, but it was Mom that took me to see you at the Dallas Convention Center back in, I believe, in 1971 or 72.
In Dallas?
Dallas Convention Center.
Yeah, I jumped there. The floor, I remember the floor. It was slick as snot. Come in.
Tell me I wasn't drunk as a 10-year-old. You went by on us at the time. It was like a 3-wheeler with a jet rocket on it. At the time, that was going to be the Snake River motorcycle. Is that true?
Well, that's about all I had to work with at the time till I found a real engineer, this Bob Truex. He built me a rocket that would try and get across there, no wings on it, just a 3-wheel rocket that I'd take off on. But that was a jet bike. Yeah, I rode it in that Dallas Coliseum. I remember that.
What was the attraction to Evel with all the moms?
I never have figured that out. I know one thing. Aphrodisiac. There's no aphrodisiac in the world like danger to women. That's just all there is to it.
Mr. Knievel, can I call you Evel? This is Lugner.
Yeah, call me anything you want.
I'm never nervous. I'm a little bit nervous right now. No, really, I'm not nervous, but I had to ask anyway because I want to be polite. Because I heard Michael Jordan is like the Evel Knievel of the NBA. The hell with that other stuff.
Michael Jordan's got the spirit. You know, there are people in life that have the spirit. I hadn't had the spirit since about 1980 because I've been kind of shell-shocked for all them trucks and buses I hit on that motorcycle.
Listen, buddy. These new guys that are out there, they would never have even thought about doing any of that crap if it weren't for you. Do you think they're giving you enough of the respect as like the godfather of the greatest freaking, thrill show on the planet?
Well, I think that a younger person wanting to do what they saw somebody do is the greatest compliment in the world. They could pay the older person. I consider it quite a compliment. I think my son Robbie is probably one of the best the best motorcycle performer in the world. You ever remember a kid named Jim Pomeroy that raced motocross?
Big time.
He was the first American that ever won a Grand Prix in Europe. Yeah, well, guess who taught him how to ride a motorcycle? I did.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
John, you're on with Evel Knievel and the Speed Freaks. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Mr. Knievel. Remember me?
Hello there. John who?
John Hood in the bottom of the canyon.
Hey, John boy, how are you?
1975.
Wow.
Yeah, 1974, John.
Oh, I missed it by a year, but I'm old.
Well, you never were too sharp, John. How the hell are you doing?
I'm retired, living in California, where you left me.
One of you two have to explain what's going on here. Who picked who up off of? John says it was a canyon, and you said it was a floor in London.
Well, John worked for me for quite some time. He's a very nice guy. We became friends. I met him in New Jersey, and he's a very nice guy. He helped drive my equipment, and we had some great times together. And he came out to the canyon jump, but there was so much commotion going out there with all those people, and that rocket shot across that thing went in the bottom. We all went back to the motel and had a press conference and everything, left poor John down there in the bottom of the canyon.
Oh. Hey, Evel, I've got a book in my hands written by Ace Collins.
Yes.
Well, he was talking about in here about growing up in Butte. It was a tough town to grow up in. There were pimps and whores and gamblers, and you grew up kind of hanging around those guys. Is that true?
I worked there for when I was 17, 18, a mile underneath the ground, the Kelly Shaft. I was a copper and gold and silver miner.
You a manhole.
What about all these pimps and whores and gamblers he was talking about?
They were all over the place there. There were 500 whores working on one square block, and my grandpa had a tire shop right in the middle of all of them.
But they had pimps and whores it wasn't in a big city like Detroit or New York?
125,000. We had a bigger Chinatown than Boston and San Francisco put together. Butte, Montana at one time was the greatest western town on the face of the earth.
The city is fat.
What happened?
Miners.
Oh, yeah.
Mine companies. They rape and strip and plunder land. They leave it lay. They take all the richness from it and just leave it.
You see, Evel, that's kind of how it is here in the Freak Nation. And I understand that you growing up as a kid, you actually grew up with your grandparents. Is that true?
Yeah, my mother and dad were divorced and kind of disappeared on me, but my grandma and grandpa raised me ever since I was about a year old. They were my mother and dad. They were my mammy and pappy. I know I drove them crazy, but they're watching over me. They're still watching over me.
Yeah, jumping over crap would drive them crazy. Where were you, like 2 when you first started jumping over things, or what?
No, I rode a little tricycle away from the house when I was about 5. It scared them to death. They didn't find me for about 3 hours.
Awesome. Man, he's already...
Okay, baby, we're done.
How did you like the portrayal of you with George Hamilton in the movie?
I think he did a great job. I don't really care too much for George. I tried my best to help him. Had an attitude of being kind of a pussy or a reputation. But I did what I could for George. Sam Elliott did a great picture, and they're making a new one right now, Universal. It's a $70 million picture. It's about my canyon jump, and there's a great actor going to play it. He's a hell of a man. I know him personally. His name is Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, and he's hot,
There's
too.
news right there.
Yeah.
He's going to play my part, and they're going to start produce that picture immediately.
In the movie, Evel, George Hamilton rode up into the sorority and knocked down the door with...
No, he didn't do that. I did it.
Okay.
Oh.
You actually did that? You rode in the sorority house and knocked down that door and the chick was in the tub?
That was my wife, Linda. I took her out. I was married to her for 38 years. She's the most wonderful gal in the world. She's the mother of my children. Hi there. This is the #1 badass in America, Evel Knievel. You are listening to the Bastard Children and the show, The Speed Freaks.
That's right. They can kiss our ass, right, Evel?
Exactly right.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. And that's just 6 of the 17 minutes.
Yep. Statman, go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just wondering what the FCC is going to say to MAV TV tomorrow.
Past 10 o'clock on Eastern time.
And listen, those are words that they use.
TV shows
at 7 a.m. in the morning. Gosh. That was Evel Knievel, Freak Nation, from 2002, where he joined us on our radio show at the time. Crasher and I had a chance to meet Evel Knievel not too long after that. It was at a flat track race down in Del Mar in Southern California outside of San Diego.
We tried so hard to find that picture.
I did find it.
Oh, you did?
I did find it. I'll be able to get to. I hope to get to it. Crasher.
Got it. Okay.
But that's just one of the many highlights that we've had over the last 23 years, Freak Nation. 20 years of doing Speed Freaks. Look, I get it, man. You had a NASCAR race that just wrapped up. We could spend 2 hours breaking that damn thing down, but
no.
Why change? You know,
we are not just a NASCAR show like so many other shows out there. That's a bad thing, but we do it all.
That's really what's kept us apart from everybody else. Is one show you'd hear Evel Knievel, you'd hear an actor, then you'd hear John Force, then you'd hear Mario Andretti, you'd hear Tony Stewart, and then Lemmy of Motorhead. That's just kind of how we roll here in the Freak Nation. If we were just NASCAR focused or NHRA focused, you probably have a different audience, a little bit different audience, but it's a lifestyle show that just so happens to be about motorsports, sitting around shooting the bull, Freak Nation.
You know how we've grown. Crash mentioned Matt Hartford winning Pro Stock.
Yeah.
When we started, Matt Hartford was running in sport compact drag racing, and everybody hated him because he won all the time.
He was a front wheel driver, right?
Yeah. But he grew, we grew, everybody grew, and sport compact went away.
Coming up next, Freak Nation, you got your Stat Man Scat and more with John Force, Steve Kinser, and Kenny Wallace. Coming up, Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios. Freak Nation 3, 2, and 1.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
If it's a weekend and there's motorsports involved, you know what that means for us. More travel. More travel means not a great diet. We're feeding off media center food where there certainly is a lack of fruits and vegetables.
Kenny, that's where Field of Greens comes from. These little jars save us on the road. This is real fruits and vegetables ground up so easy that you just mix it with your favorite drink of choice. It could be as simple as water. These guys keep us healthy on the road.
Real organic fruits and vegetables. It helps you with your heart, metabolism, your immune system. It's all right here in Field of Greens.
But hey, don't just take our word for it. Take Field of Greens yourself. And if you go to your doctor a month down the road and he or she doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? Your health is incredible. Keep it up. Then send it back. Full refund.
Go to fieldofgreens.com. Use code FREAKS for 15% off. And for recurring orders, an additional 10%. That's 25% off with the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations valuations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Texas 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway is not just a race. It's a spectacle. It's time to mark your calendar. Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. 2023 is bigger and better than ever before. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal.
3 weeks ago, I offered the idea that NASCAR could attract new private equity money if it would put a cap on spending and allow the teams to make a profit. I said it would take about 5 years for all of that to happen. Well, actually, it's taken about 5 weeks. This week, Joe Gibbs announced he was selling a minority piece of Joe Gibbs Racing to private investors. One is Josh Harris, who's closing a deal to buy the Washington Commanders of the NFL. He also owns the 76ers of the NBA and the New Jersey Devils in the NHL. With approvals, Gibbs will become a partner in some of Harris's business interests. The other investor is Arcos Partners, a private equity firm with investments in 20 sports teams and leagues. Now, here's the linkage in all of this. Harris and Arctos all have relationships with sponsors who need a place to advertise. NASCAR and JGR are on TV weekly and social media hourly. See the connection? Plus, Joe Gibbs is almost the Toyota racing factory team in NASCAR. Don't be surprised if Toyota starts appearing in venues owned or controlled by Harris and Arctos. It's funny, but NASCAR once compared itself to the NFL's value. Now its tight fists may have the NFL thinking of NASCAR as value added. Get on board. This train is leaving the station. Peace.
Let that resonate, Freak Nation. Statman calling a shot, and the shot comes true. Statman Scat brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com and check out all the products to keep your 2 wheels, your 4 wheels, your power boat, all happy. Inside your engine, outside your car, they got it. Go to lucasoil.com.
That is a news drop right there.
I got to be honest with you, Freak Nation. I guess spending 3 days on Lake of the Ozarks kind of leaves your brain dead, because I had no idea that happens until Statman's Scat was shot my way earlier this afternoon.
Well, it's no secret Joe Gibbs and Joe Gibbs Racing have been struggling financially.
Right.
Obviously, losing M&M's and the parent company was a huge hit, hence not being able to bring Kyle Busch back for what they wanted to. And also FedEx. I mean, is it public yet, or is it fully knowledgeable? I mean, a lot of people in the garage are assuming FedEx is not coming back next year. So, yeah, they need a way to generate income. And if hedge funds and additional investors are the way to do it, because that's how other sports are funding the increasing cost of doing business, welcome to NASCAR, hedge funds and investors. Interesting.
Statman, do you see the Richard Childresses of the world doing something of this? I mean, listen, Pitbull's got his fingers in everything. And I know he's got a whole hell of a lot of money, but to diverse a little bit in a sport of this size, why not?
If they want to compete, they're going to have to. You know, they're asking, they built an economy in each one of those garages based on what, $35 million they used to sell cars for. And now they can barely get $3 million for the car. So they're going to have to come up with some way to make money. And They're always on TV, and they have a huge social media presence, and the advertisers want that. The tight fists at NASCAR, the negotiations, the only thing that's going to screw the thing up is if the negotiations between NASCAR and the race team alliance fall apart and NASCAR is too tight-fisted to share some of the money with the race teams. And I think the race teams are ready to say, we're not going to do this anymore unless you give up some of that money. NASCAR says we give most of the money to the racetracks, but they own most of the racetracks they race on. So they got to do something. They can't keep buying boats and put them in the harbor. They're going to have to share some of that money with the teams.
So essentially you're saying that the business model that was used and was seemingly successful from the late 90s to the recession ultimately, that's still a problem that they're trying to dig out from underneath?
The operative word there is the late 90s. They're working on 20th century business models in the 21st century, and we're well into the 21st century right now. And unless you can deal with the way the world works now, this is not the 80s, the 90s, or the 40s when they started this thing. They're going to have to open the doors and share the money, or watch the whole thing fall apart, which it's slowly doing, with people not buying seats and not watching on television. And the income to the teams, the advertisers know that. They're not buying what the teams are selling. They have to come up with some more money from someplace.
But there's money issues. There are money issues in all facets of motorsports. I mean, we could talk about off-road. Keegan Kincaid put out a very telling reel, I believe it was, on Instagram, just breaking down costs in the off-road community. IndyCar obviously has cost issues, and NHRA has pricing issues. We talked about how Chevy is going to leave Pro Stock, and that's going to leave a lot of teams out just clamoring for where does my money come from next. So it's a motorsports problem in general, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a business problem in general, but the people who know what the issues are, the automakers and sponsors want eyeballs. They don't want racetracks. They don't want checkered flags. They don't want stage wins. They want people to see their product, and they figure if 100 people see it, 4 are going to buy it. And so the deal is we want to have as many hundreds as possible. And if you can't deliver it, I'm not giving you money.
It's something that
pretty simple.
We will see certainly an evolution. I would expect an evolution within the next year or two. And Crasher mentioned about FedEx allegedly leaving Joe Gibbs Racing. It hasn't been announced, but according to our sources, Freak Nation, FedEx will be leaving Joe Gibbs. So you've got to find different avenues. And if you listen to the Statman Scat, it's a hell of an avenue that will provide additional income, should provide additional income to Joe Gibbs and Joe Gibbs Racing. And if the other owners are smart, you've got to find that avenue that we're talking about, find that avenue to fill the coffers that continue to leave. I mean, if you look at the crazy money that was spent inside NASCAR, and it's leaving IndyCar and NHRA out of it, but the crazy money when we started the show 23 years ago, as it started to grow, 2004, 2005, it was a minimum of $20 million to have a successful team. And I couldn't tell you how much of that was supposed to go to the size of the yacht or the number of cars they had in their 16-car garage or
the wineries,
the performance of the team. I don't know. But it's over the 23 years, Statman, what we've seen change financially is sponsorship within the walls of motorsports.
Yeah, we had a conversation one night in Bristol Motor Speedway with a sponsor who had just signed a contract to spend tens of millions of dollars in NASCAR. And when we told them in casual conversation that they could have had John Force Racing for a tenth of that, they looked at each other like, what have we done? And they're not in NASCAR anymore. So there's a problem. There's a real problem. One of the problems started with Richard Childress when it's alleged that AOL bought one of his cars, and they ended up with the money going to buy his winery, and the car backed up on the grid. So that was the beginning of people starting to question, hey, what are we spending our money on? And they're really getting those conversations now on across the table when they're talking to TV networks to buy the product. And right now, they don't even have a sponsor for the series after Monster went away. Funny how that works.
Statman, Crash Gladys, Kenny Sargent, Speed Freaks on a Sunday night, Freak Nation. 23 years of doing this exact night, 7 p.m. Pacific in Los Angeles, one station. There were 4 of us on mic, and now there are still 4 people on mic, just a different 4th. But my point is the things that have come and gone, frankly, have just been astonishing. In our text thread earlier today, just kind of shed some light on it that I don't need to get into, but frankly, just 23 years. Gosh, how much time do I have here? I've got about 45 seconds, but quickly, Crasher, the average marriage lasts how long?
4 years.
Statman.
2.
Oh, well, okay. 7 years. Our show's lasted 23 years.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Okay.
Right? Do the freaking math.
What a marriage.
Yeah.
What a marriage.
Oh,
so we've had a marriage inside of the time of the show. So we got 2.
What are we? We're 14 years, so we've even doubled the average.
Hey,
Yay.
exactly. Coming up next hour, Steve Kinser, at the time, 19-time World of Outlaw champion. Arguably the greatest sprint car driver ever in the history of mankind. Kenny Wallace, hope to get to John Forrest, and we hope to drop some news what the Speed Freaks intend to do with these 23 years. Just like Ryan Reynolds. It's coming up next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway is not just a race. It's a spectacle. It's time to mark your calendar. Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. 2023 is bigger and better than ever before. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add 1 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. 1 bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
If it's a weekend and there's motorsports involved, you know what that means for us. More travel. More travel means not a great diet. We're feeding off media center food where there certainly is a lack of fruits and vegetables.
Kenny, that's where Field of Greens comes from. These little jars save us on the road. This is real fruits and vegetables ground up so easy that you just mix it with your favorite drink of choice. It could be as simple as water. These guys keep us healthy on the road.
Real organic fruits and vegetables. It helps you with your heart, metabolism, your immune system. It's all right here in Field of Greens.
But hey, don't just take our word for it. Take Field of Greens yourself. And if you go to your doctor a month down the road and he or she doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? Your health is incredible. Keep it up. Then send it back. Full refund.
Go to fieldofgreens.com, use code FREAKS for 15% off, and for recurring orders, an additional 10%. That's 25% off with the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Are they going to get the shift points right? Are they going to have the logos in the place, the right rubber on the car?
Yeah, all that authenticity that helps you to really escape in that world.
You sure you want to do this?
A lot has changed.
Can you squeeze another one out? I'm talking about a movie.
Yeah. Yes, we can if we approach it with the same integrity that we did this one.
If you're listening to us on the Freak Radio Network, you heard the voice of Vin Diesel in that intro, and he's one of many movie stars, rock stars that have been here in the Freak Nation on top of hundreds of motorsports stars over the last 23 years. If you're watching us on MAV TV over my shoulder, you see a beautiful set of flowers, roses and checkered flags. And what else are in there, Crasher?
Chrysanthemums.
Tulips are in there as well?
Yeah, I'm looking. Yes, I see a tulip or two. Or Gerber daisies.
My
It's awesome.
wonderful sister and her husband sent us that arrangement for celebrating our 23 years of Speed Freaks. We started on one radio station in Los Angeles. Now we're on 90 plus, including Sirius XM, every audio app that you can imagine, and on MAV TV. Thank you guys for housing the Freak Nation on Sunday nights. Ross Chastain with the big win in Nashville, his first win of the season. Right now he's in the playoffs. Crasher with some news regarding the IMSA 6 Hours of the Glen. We have a new winner crowned.
Yes, this is wild. So, just kidding. That Porsche Penske, they failed tech.
Wow.
So, the number 25 BMW M Team Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan BMW M Hybrid won the Salins 6 Hours at the Glen today after the number 6 Porsche Penske was assessed a penalty in post-race tech. Congrats to your now GTP winner, Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan.
Wait. Penske may have cheated?
No.
Sure. Yes.
Bring in some good old Godfather music.
You mean the 15, 16, 25,000 time winner of the Indy 500? Okay.
I'm just,
I know.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to go back to the Indy 500 and who won the Indy 500 and how they won the Indy 500?
It was a Penske.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you say that, stat man.
By the way, there's a quick conspiracy regarding that. I was watching the tail end of that race today. Really good racing near the end there at the Glen. But here's the thing. NBC like 3 commercial breaks in the final 30 minutes when there were two classes that were coming down to literally less than probably a second and a half a second. And there was basically a pass in the final 10 minutes that we never saw for the lead because they were in a commercial break and they were like side by side. Saw a lot of people on Twitter complaining that people who were watching the race on Peacock didn't get the same side by side experience.
Right. That was just going to say, so this wasn't just for the Peacock viewers?
Yeah, the Peacock did not have picture in picture at all. At least I was watching on Big Daddy or USA, right? And I had the picture in picture, but still, they weren't live on the air. They were in a commercial break for the pass for the lead. Luckily, it didn't count anyway.
Yeah, so. Guess what? You didn't miss anything anyway. Wow. Yeah, I did see some people complaining, of course, in the forum, the lovely forum of Twitter, where all you racing fans love to just verbal vomit when things go wrong. You verbal vomit when things go right, too. But mostly when they go wrong.
He is a 20-time World of Outlaw champion, arguably the greatest dude to ever pilot a sprint car. His name is Steve Kinser. We interviewed him in 2005 from Sedalia, Missouri, part of the madness that was this golf tournament, this race, this World of Outlaw sprint car race to raise money for the kids. This is a great interview. One of the greatest motorsports champions ever. And the story to get him on the set with us, it's even better. Steve Kinser here in the Freak Nation. You're welcome, Stevie.
Thank you.
Now, this is how big the Speed Freaks is to you. Your air condition went out on your bus. And
the hottest day of the year.
It's 103 degrees here.
The hottest day of the year here in Sedalia, Missouri. Your wife was going, man, I don't want to get him out. I can't get him out. Your son was going, we can't get him out there. We had to finally send like the cops over there to get you out of your holler to finally come over here because your AC went out in your bus.
Well, I had somebody working on the bus there, and I figured it's going to be hot for the next few weeks, and I'm going to be in this thing. So it was either traded in for something else or try to get it fixed. And I had a guy out there working. I just didn't want to leave him stranded.
Is it hard for a guy like you because you're used to working on wrenching on your own stuff? I mean, I know a lot of drivers don't. But even you can't even have like the Maytag refrigerator guy come over and work on something without saying, get the hell out of the way. I'll do this better.
That's exactly what happened. They did just run me off finally. I had 3 technicians on the phone, and I was just getting mixed up more as we went. So they'll be all right now.
You get them out there on the dirt track, to be the other way around, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think I can handle it on the dirt track. I don't have to explain what's going on and talk on any phones or anything like that. It's just me and the sound of the motor. I can pretty well handle that.
Steve, what is it with you on the dirt track? Because you've won 19 championships, going on 20, and I've heard other media people, other racers say he knows the car better than anybody else. He can read it, he can feel it better, but there's got to be something else there because you don't just win 19 just by feel.
Well, I mean, a lot of it is just from a time I could get anything with wheels on it, whether it be a bicycle, whatever it might be. I'd run circles on the dirt, actually, motorcycles, whatever it be. It might give me a feeling just to want to do it so much, but I would say the biggest success is just surrounding my people like anybody else with a good race team. And if you don't have that, you're not going to go out and win races. I've said for years that you'll win more races in the race shop than you will on the racetrack. And I've been fortunate enough to be with not very many race teams and good people and good cars, and it's allowed me over the years to learn how to race a lot better.
There were many years ago, you and I think the first time we met, and I turned around, I bought a drink for you. It was in a hotel in Las Vegas, and I gave it to you, and it stunned me. I'm sitting here thinking, I just gave a drink to the king of the outlaws, and we sat there and had a nice conversation. Do the people, do they respect you, and do they show you the respect that you're due from all the success that you've had racing out here?
I get a lot of respect from the race fans. At the same time, I try to give them a lot of it back to them. I spend a lot of time with them. It's been a lot of years that I've run against. Sit and had drinks with race fans and got to know them and enjoy doing it. That's one thing. One thing my wife and especially my dad told me over the years. He said, no matter what happens, you still got to always have time for the fan.
We continue our conversation with Steve the King Kinser. You saw the interview with Carl Edwards, who was up for driver of the quarter for Speed Channel. Kinser is 2, Forrest is 2, Sebastian Bourdais is 2, and
Danica, our top.
And Danica Patrick is as well. You guys out there, Freak Nation, email us, pitcrew@speedfreaks.tv. Should she have been in the same breath as those drivers? Steve Kinser.
Don't get me in this.
That's the perfect answer. The perfect answer.
Hey, Lazowski said no.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. She did a great job at Indianapolis. Looked like she had a pretty good crowd down in Texas. So I don't know where to go from here.
But that's one race, and she didn't even win it.
Well, she's, I don't know. She, from what I understand, she's put her dues in, did a lot of racing growing up and stuff, like we all have. So, I talked to a lot of people that's been big race fans, and they all say she's a real deal. So all I can do is go with it.
Isn't that what it's all about, too, Steve? I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of reasons why people are popular, and sometimes it's because they draw the fans. It's because they make it popular, and sometimes they're damn good drivers and they make the sport popular. She is deserving of at least a mention, isn't she? Even though she has no championships, and I'll be honest, you know you're a better driver. You know that all those guys on the list are better drivers.
Like nuts.
But does she really deserve to be on there just because she draws fans?
Well, I don't know. She's she accomplished quite a bit more than some of the women drivers that's been there yet. But as far as she's put all the dues in to be mentioned with some of those people, I don't really know that for
She
sure.
fix an air conditioner.
Neither can I. So
Okay, what Kenny was talking about, I don't want to get off that subject. I had a fight with a pretty significant media guy during the Indianapolis 500. It was on a yellow. We were talking about Speed Channel Driver of the Year. And I said to him, this is ridiculous that Steve Kinser, he's the only man to win 19 championships in any motorsport, that he has never won that award. You know what the guy said to me? He said it's because there's not that much competition in World of Outlaws. I about turned around and gave him the backside of my hand. I was pissed off. What do you say to that?
Well, that would make me a little bit mad because over the years, there's been a lot of competition, and he better not only just there's a lot of competition in the World of Outlaws, there's a lot of competition in every weekly show you go to that's got sprint cars, and he might want to buy him one of those sprint cars and strap his ass in it.
Well, he doesn't.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what
Hey, Kinser, I tell you what, I'm going to give you the opportunity. You know what? You probably won't do it because Quaker State's your sponsor. I say you could flip that camera off. And
He just did. He just did.
In other words, he can just kiss your ass. Can't he?
Well, I don't know about that, but you got to watch what you're talking about because I've been one of the guys that's been able to drive a lot of different race cars, and there's not no animal like a sprint car.
IndyCar, NASCAR, you've done it all. Yes, and you're right. The sprint cars are the hardest.
19 championships is enough of a kiss in the ass.
Exactly.
Even if it's go-karts, 19 times you're the best. That's
Freak Nation, if he doesn't get it this year, you guys are all stupid. Stupid. You need to get that award.
They're not stupid. Freak Nation isn't stupid. It's the bastards not
The
voting
fans
on
vote
it.
too.
All right.
The
all
fans
right.
vote too.
Chris,
Vote
the people
for
back
him.
in California can hear you, for Christ's sake.
Kinser, thank you very much for taking time out. Your brow's sweating. We know what you're dealing with in the pits, but we really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
No problem. I enjoyed coming over. I'll tell you, quite a stage here now.
like
Sit
that?
out here right here in the middle of the hot sun at Sedalia.
Sitting here in the hot sun in Sedalia. Statman's in pants, lugs in pants. I'm in flip-flops. My God, Steve Kinser, 20-time World of Outlaw champion. And as Statman said in the text, there's no competition to what he did in sprint cars, World of Outlaws specifically.
He finally got his due.
More
ESPN rated him
Speed
top
Freaks
25 of all
coming
time.
up next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
If it's a weekend and there's motorsports involved, you know what that means for us. More travel. More travel means not a great diet. We're feeding off media center food where there certainly is a lack of fruits and vegetables.
Kenny, that's where Field of Greens comes from. These little jars save us on the road. This is real fruits and vegetables ground up so easy that you just mix it with your favorite drink of choice. It could be as simple as water. These guys keep us healthy on the road.
Real organic fruits and vegetables. It helps you with your heart, metabolism, your immune system. It's all right here in Field of Greens.
But hey, don't just take our word for it. Take Field of Greens yourself. And if you go to your doctor a month down the road and he or she doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? Your health is incredible. Keep it up. Then send it back. Full refund.
Go to fieldofgreens.com, use code FREAKS for 15% off, and for recurring orders, an additional 10%. That's 25% off with the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway is not just a race, it's a spectacle.
Here we go! In St. Louis at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
It's time to mark your calendar. Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th.
Joseph Newgarden wins back-to-back years at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, I hope you caught some of that awesome racing on MAV TV this weekend. Formula D, Trans Am, and two wheels with Moto America. You're not going to find a motorsports channel anywhere on the planet that has such a variety, such an awesome variety. And this weekend just summed it up with Trans Am, Formula D, and Moto America. Bam! Make sure you go to mavtv.com to find out how, if you don't have it, if you're watching this in a bar getting lit up like we did several times on a Sunday night here in the Freak Nation.
After the show, of course.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, yeah.
Go to mavtv.com to find out how you can get your MAV TV. Crasher, we had Evel Knievel on last hour. Here's that picture of Evel Knievel.
Oh.
See that? If you're watching us on MAV TV, you can see.
Is.
Yep, there's that picture of,
Evel, nice snake orange shirt.
Mm-hmm. And if you look at that picture, unfortunately, it's one of those pictures where you catch somebody just a stupid face. and then you have Evel. I'm talking about me. No, yeah, Evel Knievel. Just like
oh yeah. Well, it was, you pulled him away from the buffet, right? Because we were in a suite at Del Mar with flat track racing, and you were so girly eyed. You were just like, "Oh my gosh, there's my idol, Evel Knievel. Like, could you take a picture?" I've never seen you like that the entire 23 years that I've known you, except for that moment.
The two that come to mind, strangely enough, the last googly personality I went after was 5 or 6 years ago at Phoenix Raceway in a NASCAR race was Master P. Master P.
I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And Henley was with you. Our daughter was with you, right? And she had no idea. You were just like, Henley, come with me now, faster.
Yeah. And again, if you're watching us on MAV TV, you're seeing some awesome visuals. I'll get to this one. I mean, who gets their freaking face on a funny car?
Yeah.
Look at that. Statman, yours truly, Crasher, our face and likeness were on the Jim Dunn funny car. Thanks to our friends at K&N Filters. At the time, Frank Pedregon was the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
It's Statman 23 years ago. I would have told you, you know what, dude, we're going to be on a funny car going 300 plus miles an hour. What would you have said?
I'd have laughed at you and kept going. That was a great weekend, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to walk out on the track and be there when they launched. I mean, that doesn't happen every day.
No. I've got a couple Frank photos that I gave to Richie. I guess let's just do Frank 2, because there clearly you can see that we're on the car already. But a part of that weekend was our station, our Dallas affiliate. We got a massive suite at the top end.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, we are responsible for NHRA implementing the top end suites 20 some odd years ago. And this was one of the first ones at Dallas. So that's Texas Motorplex. You see a lot of people with their hands up in the air and a lot of them wearing the t-shirt of us on Frank Pedregon's funny car. That was such a fun time.
Look, man, you can't write this stuff.
No.
And like I said, we could spend 2 hours talking about the NASCAR race and Ross Chastain and this and that, and I get it. But we don't want to do that. We've not wanted to do that about a single series for 23 years. We want to spread the love to all the series and all the lifestyle, whether it's music, acting. What's that voice?
Voice,
Okay, what's
my
that face,
face.
Crasher?
Even if the series are at war with us at the time, Richie, go ahead to Joe 1. Let's see if Statman or Kenny can figure out by this visual what this picture is. Can you tell?
Oh yeah. There
Okay,
it
go
is.
ahead and just go to Joe 2 so we can complete the story.
Okay.
There was a 6 or 8 month period in which the CEO of the kart series at the time, this is when IndyCar was split into, would not come on our show. When he finally did at Fontana, California Speedway, after we had one of our first interviews with AJ Allmendinger, by the way, which is just blowing my mind. There it is. Joe Heitzler. Joe Heitzler finally came down and bowed down to us saying, I am sorry. That's a first too. As a series president and CEO, done that to any other motorsport shows, admitted they were wrong and said, I'm sorry.
Listen, Stat, Crash, myself, there are multiple sayings about the bigger the dog, the harder the bite, whatever, the littler, whatever the hell I'm trying to say here. What is it?
I don't know, but go on.
Yeah. We really had no clue what we were doing, but damn it, we were pissed off that Joe Heitzler would not come on our radio show. And then several weeks later, the dude, or many weeks later, at the California Speedway, he's bowing down to us.
Yeah, literally bowed down. You know, I mean, that was wow.
We didn't we didn't have social media. We had faxes and emails. We would send out press releases weekly on our shows.
Go ahead with the Ben and Brian pick. This is one that has a great memory, I believe, a couple of great memories for Statman, in which, we were at Pasadena or Glendale, California Hooters.
Yep.
One of our many shows that we would do on remote. And I think, is this where a bet began between, because Brian Herta is in that picture. He was an IndyCar driver at the time, not just a team owner and father of IndyCar driver, but also some super bikers. You see Ben Spies in there. So was this where the Brian Herta Statman bet began?
Yeah, I was at the Hooters in Pasadena, and he was out of the top 10, and I just was kidding around with him. I said, hey, dude, you're 13th. You got to get in the top 10. And we had a bet that if he wasn't in the top 10 by the end of the season, he would shave his head. And if he was in the top 10, I had to grow my hair out. And I'd let it go. I mean, I'm not going to hold him responsible. He never got to the top 10, but he stopped us at the Anaheim 1 Supercross and took his hat off. And I paid my debts, and I've never forgotten that. I've held him up in esteem. I've bowed to him because he sought us out and said, I pay my debts. When I say I'm going to do something, I did it.
I want to bring this back up. Take off the cover. There go, Richie.
That was badass.
If you're watching this on MAV TV, right to left, that's Lugnuts, Statman, Ben Spies. Who's the other two-wheeler? I can't think of his name.
Do not know.
Crasher, Brian Herta, me with my fall leather collar. And this is Chuck Norris's son. What was his name? What was his name? Chuck Norris. What's his name? Chuck Norris's son. He was driving the trucks series. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Right. The NASCAR. So we have IndyCar, NASCAR trucks, and super bikes in that photo.
That sums up the show right there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was also a guy in the audience who stole some images from me, and he became a major sports car driver when he was in. Yeah, that was. We had a long, drawn out non-conversation about
it. Speaking of images, let's go Christmas.
Oh,
Christmas.
As we celebrate 23 years of Speed Freaks here in the Freak Nation. If you're watching us on MAV TV, you're seeing some hell of a throwbacks. What you got, Richard?
Statman and Kenny hated me for this.
Wow.
Look at that. Hold on.
Is that the crazy? Oh,
yeah.
That Cadillac was I got to give it to you, Kenny. That Cadillac was when you bought that thing, I said, what's he doing? That's the best thing yet. We got more notoriety for that Cadillac than anything we did those first 5 or 6 years.
Statman dressed up as a black Santa Claus. I am Rudolph. Lugnuts as a toy soldier, and Crasher.
He's a nutcracker.
Nutcracker. All right. And Crasher as a
elf.
With a freaking caddy. Holy smokes.
El Dorado with longhorns on the front.
Yeah.
And that Cadillac, we bought out riders at Supercross at Anaheim with that thing.
Oh, yes.
Ricky Carmichael. We put it outside the pits at California Speedway one year and got everybody from Jeff Gordon to Richard Petty to sign the damn thing. And who knows? That Cadillac's probably been involved in some illegal activity.
I wish we would have been able to sell it and give it away for charity, but yeah, unfortunately, whoever was managing it kind of lost track with us and
managed it out of the system. Yeah.
Speaking of hooch.
Speaking of hooch.
Yeah.
Hey, can you bring up the Ricky and Casey pick? This one's I don't know, a little heartbreaking, but great memories of a freezing weekend at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Can you guys see who's in that picture?
Oh, yeah. Holy smokes. Yes, I do. That's Casey Kane and...
No, Casey Mears.
Casey Mears, sorry. And it's not Hendrick, is it?
Yep.
Is that Ricky?
That is Ricky Hendrick. Ricky Hendrick's son. Yep.
Wow.
And we were forming a really good relationship with him. He was so real with us. And yeah, just a couple years later, unfortunately, died in the team plane crash.
Yep. See there, Freak Nation, and those jackets were just legit. We got a break. Speaking of, Kenny Wallace will be joining us coming up next, and we hope to make a major announcement coming up in about 20 minutes or so. It's all coming up. Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios, Freak Nation.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
If it's a weekend and there's motorsports involved, you know what that means for us. More travel. More travel means not a great diet. We're feeding off media center food where there certainly is a lack of fruits and vegetables.
Kenny, that's where Field of Greens comes from. These little jars save us on the road. This is real fruits and vegetables ground up so easy that you just mix it with your favorite drink of choice. It could be as simple as water. These guys keep us healthy on the road.
Real organic fruits and vegetables. It helps you with your heart, metabolism, your immune system. It's all right here in Field of Greens.
But hey, don't just take our word for it. Take Field of Greens yourself. And if you go to your doctor a month down the road and he or she doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? Your health is incredible. Keep it up. Then send it back. Full refund.
Go to fieldofgreens.com. Use code FREAKS for 15% off. And for recurring orders, an additional 10%. That's 25% off with the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system, pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway is not just a race, it's a spectacle. It's time to mark your calendar. Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. 2023 is bigger and better than ever before. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
As a trucker, you've seen every kind of road condition out there. One of the toughest is icy, freezing weather, which can thicken diesel fuel and plug system filters. That's why you need Lucas Anti-Gel Cold Weather Diesel Treatment. It prevents fuel gelling at extremely cold temperatures, lowers the cold filter plugging point of diesel and biodiesel fuels, and removes moisture from the entire fuel system. In turn, you get maximum performance and reliability. For more info, visit lucasoil.com. Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Hey, I would be remiss not to say thank you, Chris Blair and Worldwide Technology Raceway, for jumping on board the last couple of years. A gentleman that certainly prides himself in doing things different, Chris Blair, and those at Worldwide Technology Raceway in St. Louis or Southwest Illinois. Yeah. Thank you guys for being partners of ours. And speaking of, Kenny Wallace is a big partner with Worldwide Technology Raceway and vice versa. He's a freak. He's been a freak, and it's fantastic that I found this from 2006, I believe it is. This was from PRI in Orlando at the time, January of 2006, if my memory serves me correctly. Enjoy this little ditty with NASCAR personality, Kenny Wallace. Now, he's been on the radio show a number of times, but we finally get him in the Freak Nation on the TV show. Would you please welcome KW, Kenny Wallace. What's up, Holmes?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. Man, the crowd went wild. Wow, easy.
How about it?
The last time I watched a show, you had the snake on. It was in the middle of the summer.
Right. That was the last time? What have you been doing?
Great interview with Mr. Cool, man. I'm telling you what, my brother Rusty loves the snake, you know. He just glides.
Actually, to be honest, the snake talks about Rusty a lot. They've got
They
something
play golf
going
all the time.
Oh, well, see, the thing about it is that when Rusty retires, he wants to be like the snake, because in his world, everybody says the snake does not walk, he glides, you know, and everybody wants. Wow. Everybody, so Rusty wants to be like him.
So does that mean the Wallace family, I mean, aside from being Prudhomme fans, the Wallace family Speed Freaks fans?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, this show's out of hand. If I was going to have a show, see, this show is off-centered like me. That's why I like it so much.
Now, see, we were talking just before we went on the air. You were telling me about Nelly and Outkast.
Oh, yeah.
You did a little rap there.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know some of those songs.
Yeah, I said, I'm going down, down, baby, your street in a Range Rover, street sweeper, baby, cock ready to love, shimmy, shimmy, cocoa puff, pass it to me now.
You're actually not bad. That's really good, Kenny.
Oh, you know, I bust it down.
That's a little bit better than
I bust it down right now.
You do a little freestyle?
No.
No?
No, you
Come
got me on
Kenny,
that
you
one.
could lay out a little freestyle on us.
Hold on, let me think of one.
Little St. Louis freestyle?
I did have one, and
Come
I
on,
forgot
so
how to
freestyle
do
with
it.
Speed Freaks.
Yeah.
Right now, my brain is trying to think about it because I was kind of rapping.
Because you're looking at this
Back
thing
in
next to me. That's what the hell you're
Yeah,
doing.
your mind got
big
lost
boobies.
there a little bit there. Yeah, I understand.
Hey, where's your honk sound? Honk, honk.
Here you go.
Say my name.
That's what it is. Hey, Wallace, listen to me.
Talk to me.
Look at a chick like Crash Gladys. When you started in racing,
Right.
if that would have walked through the
Yeah.
Winston Cup
Yes.
pits,
I like how
the
I'm an
Winston
item.
Cup pits, what would have happened?
Well, first of all, you're a beautiful girl,
But
but
No, wait,
first
wait.
of all, a good
Wait, that's a woman.
woman.
That's a woman.
Woman.
Well, let's get to the point. We got to go to break.
Woman.
Wallace, 30 seconds.
She'd be called a pit lizard back then.
oh, that's
and everybody would be all over, and then the driver would be all over the news the next day. And so that's why no drivers can go do anything anymore, because it'd be like, oh, I know why Rusty Wallace ran bad. He was in a bar last night with some old pit lizard.
So none of the drivers now chase the pit lizards in the garage?
Oh,
You'll be put in jail like Kurt Busch.
Oh,
He
man. Kurt Busch, 2005 Nextel Cup champion. Was he a good champion? Yes or no? So we're going to leave Kenny Wallace on here. Kenny Wallace, we're putting you on the spot. The first one was Kurt Busch a good champion for 2005 Nextel Cup Series?
I have to throw a disclaimer out first, and I'll answer yes or no.
All right.
First of all, Kurt Busch has always been good to me.
Brilliant.
He's a good person. Okay? But was he a good champion, yes or no? No. And the reason why was because he got in too many altercations throughout the year. He got in a bad altercation with NASCAR at Darlington. He got in a public altercation at Phoenix, which, once again, everybody he was no DUI. I just think that Kurt's a great race car driver. He's a good person, but he's a early Tony Stewart. If you push the wrong button,
wow,
he goes a little stupid.
Statman, what do you think? Kurt Busch, good champion for 2005 Nextel Cup Series?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kenny. To win a championship, you have to be a great driver. You don't win a championship by luck. But so much stuff happened that if you can't depend on your champion, if your champion, the defending champion, can't get to the end of the season and he's suspended and somebody else has to take his place, that's a problem.
You're pissing Lug off, Statman. I think we got... Go ahead, Lug.
Was he a good champion? Hell yes, he was a good champion. I don't care what he is as a person. I don't know the guy. Mike Tyson was ripping people, beating people, doing all kinds of crap.
I will
he was
bust
called
your
the great
ass.
champion.
I will
Mike
bite
Tyson,
your ear off.
Mike Tyson was not a good person. Mike Tyson was a good champion, and Kurt Busch
We're not
was a
talking
damn
about Mike
good
Tyson. We're
champion.
talking
I'm
about
so
Kurt Busch.
hungry right now. Can I bite on your ear? Because I'm hungry.
Wow.
I said Mike Tyson was a piece of crap, but he was a good champion. He's going to come and beat me now.
I think he was a good champion. He at least made his appearances. And you know what? I don't want everybody to be candy-coated. I don't want everybody to sit there and say their sponsors in order.
How do you follow Mr. Neck Vein here after that?
Yeah, but hold on.
Give me a little bit of controversy.
Wallace,
and
we
that's
got to wrap
okay.
it up. We're going to.
I agree with you. He's a great race car driver. He's
All
a
right.
good person.
We talked about Kurt Busch. You saw Mr. Orange Redhead and his neck vein get out.
That's scary.
Listen, hey, Wallace, that's okay, man. NASCAR, drag racing, open wheel, you got to have bastards out there that stir it up.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to have it, or they're going to be paint on the wall like that Happy Series Formula One.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the Formula One, they get out of the car. I'm going to my motorhome.
They don't even say that. They give you the finger and just say that
they
and
go,
walk away.
It's handling like crap. Get it handling.
Hey, seriously, do you give a about Formula One?
You know what? I have mixed emotions with Formula One. First of all, I'm fascinated with the vehicles. You know what I mean? But I think that like when they go to Monaco, I mean that's right up their alley. I mean because everything is suave, rico. You know, they come out of their motels. You know, as a driver, and they walk to the garage. It's just different, man. I can't say that it's bad because I am fascinated with.
Okay. Hold on. So you wouldn't see Michael Schumacher at Bristol?
Yeah, I'd like to see Michael Schumacher in my dirt modified at Peevely, riding a cushion, riding high, not afraid to die. Can he do it?
Now there's some of those people out here who have chased down drivers into their motorhomes trying to get autographs. Some people would say that NASCAR drivers are doing the same thing right now. They get out of the car and go straight to their motorhome.
I would say you're right. I would say it's coming to that, just for the fact that. What happens is, like, if you have a job and you work 8 to 5 and you're a CEO, you don't see people busting in there going, hey, give me your autograph, let's talk.
But it's a public position.
No, the garage area is not a public position. You have to have a special pass to get in there, and I love signing autographs, I love everybody, but when I go into that tunnel, when I go through that tunnel or I go through that pit gate, Herman's not silly anymore, he's there to race. And I just feel that when a lot of people demand autographs in the garage area, I think that's out of hand.
It still happens even after the rule change a couple years ago. It still happens because there's sponsor people passing them down.
That's because of the internet is good and bad. The emails come across, and then they'll email the president CEO of AutoZone, and then they'll pass it down to me and make me feel like an ass. You didn't give this person the time of day. And then it makes you feel guilty.
Kenny, Russell Crowe just did a little something. He whacked someone in the noodle with a phone.
Yeah.
You would never do that, man.
Absolutely not.
All right.
No way, man. I love everybody.
You'd use a wrench, wouldn't you?
I don't know what I'd do. but you know what? That's the snake. And I'm talking about Don the Snake Perdomo. Don the Snake Perdomo described me perfectly. He says, man, you know the difference between you and your brother, Rusty? I said, no. He goes, Rusty's just damn good. And when the fans want his autograph, Rusty's like, I ain't got time, man. And the difference between you and Rusty is that when the fans want your autograph, Kenny, you're like, okay, And that is, I don't want to make them mad.
Brilliant. You ever been on the other side of that, where you wanted an autograph and the driver maybe turned you down?
Man, I've been backstage at the Aerosmith concerts, and there's Steve and Tyler. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't think I got enough balls to go up and ask him for his autograph. I just get scared, But a lot of people, because I'm out going on TV, they're like, hey, Kenny, come here, man.
Hey, buddy, friend, dude, pal.
Yeah. I'm like, do I know this person? Now, with Rusty and Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch, you're like, they stand by me. This guy might hit me.
That is Kenny Wallace right there, who we could do 17 hours with the guy. Thank you very much for coming in here, my friend.
I want to thank you guys for having me on. It's a great show. Speed Freaks just kicks butt. I like your format, outgoing, and a lot of fun.
Cool. Thank you.
Couldn't get a better endorsement.
Man.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Freak Nation.
Wow. I mean, Kenny Wallace is known for being unfiltered, honest, but wow, some of the things there even shocked me this many years later.
Yep.
Huh.
We're stunned.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I listened to some of these interviews before editing or before putting them up, because there are some things that were said that had to be extricated from our commentary.
JP on Twitter. I totally agree with you, JP.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness. This is what he said. And I'm paraphrasing because my phone's not on. Thank goodness the soundboard was taken away from Kenny Sargent.
Legit. Freak Nation.
I agree.
We hope to make a major announcement celebrating our 23rd anniversary. That's coming up next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios. Don't miss this. I'm just hoping it transpires by the time we get the hell out of here, Freak Nation. More freaks coming up.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
If it's a weekend and there's motorsports involved, you know what that means for us. More travel. More travel means not a great diet. We're feeding off media center food where there certainly is a lack of fruits and vegetables.
Kenny, that's where Field of Greens comes from. These little jars save us on the road. This is real fruits and vegetables ground up so easy that you just mix it with your favorite drink of choice. It could be as simple as water. These guys keep us healthy on the road.
Real, organic fruits and vegetables. It helps you with your heart, metabolism, your immune system. It's all right here in Field of Greens.
But hey, don't just take our word for it. Take Field of Greens yourself. And if you go to your doctor a month down the road and he or she doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? Your health is incredible. Keep it up. Then send it back. Full refund.
Go to fieldofgreens.com. Use code FREAKS for 15% off. And for recurring orders, an additional 10%. That's 25% off with the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Texas 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway is not just a race. It's a spectacle. It's time to mark your calendar. Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. 2023 is bigger and better than ever before. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal.
Nation, it's been a hell of a 23 years as we celebrate 23 years tonight here in the Lucas Oil Studios. This exact night, 23 years ago, we started a little old radio show in Los Angeles and blossomed into 90-plus stations, including Sirius XM, every audio app on the planet. Now we're on MAV TV. All this audio and video you're seeing has been accumulated over the last 23 years. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Statman, Crasher, Triple F, thank you guys for being a part of this. And I wanted to, Crasher's got some pictures I want to get to before we get the hell out of here. But I think it's happened. Statman, Triple F, I don't know if you know about this, Crasher, but I've been working on something for the last few weeks. And I'm wearing a jersey. If you're watching this on MAV TV,
oh boy,
see that jersey? Kind of looks like a hockey jersey. Number 23 on the side. It's badass.
Oh, for 23 years.
Statman, you and Triple F and Crasher and yours truly, Speed Freaks, we are now the proud owners of a hockey team. Yep.
Okay.
No, we can really go in the penalty box now, can't we?
Yeah.
Are we the blue line?
Thank you. It's the Pineville Ice House League. They're the C2 division. And I said, look, Rob McElhaney could do it with Wrexham over in as part of the EPL subdivision of subdivisions. Will Ferrell, part owner in LAFC, Major League Soccer. I figured, why not, man? We've got a history, so why not buy a damn hockey team? So we did. Speed Freaks. It's the Speed Freaks hockey team. We've teamed up with our friends with this corner. We've teamed up with our friends at General Tire. If you notice, the logo has the tire tracks going across the jersey there. It's not messing around, man.
So that's our 23rd birthday present to ourselves.
We own it. We own a hockey team. And what we'd like to do right now is go to the newly minted. We make sure this is such crack staff here arranging this thing with all these logos and so forth. We're going to go to the newly minted general manager, Richard C. Suave, checking in with the news conference, announcing the partnership with what the Pineville Ice House League, Hockey League, C2 division. And he joins us now here in the Freak Nation with a statement about the purchase of our new hockey team.
Thank you very much, Kenny. It is my pleasure to be the brand new general manager of the Speed Freaks hockey organization, hockey club, as I like to call them. And when I call it a club, that's what I want this to be. I want this to be a club. I want this to be a winning club. I want the culture to be unlike anything that the Ice House League has ever seen in its history. I want Speed Freaks to play a style that is hard, heavy hockey. No other team wants to play against us. So much so, since since I took over as general manager just weeks ago, we were waiting to make the announcement. First place in the Ice House League right now.
Hold on a second. What is that?
We are in first place.
Are we?
In C2 right now. So my goal for this franchise, Freak Nation, my goal for this franchise is just like Wrexham got their promotion to the league above. Speed Freaks is going to get promoted to C1 next season. And right now we are well on track to do that. First place right now. 3-game win streak, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I cannot wait to get started and to bring in a brand new culture to Speed Freaks Hockey Club.
Now, like the Washington professional football team in the National Football League and the Dallas Cowboys, those were rivals. Just like in baseball, the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Yankees, or I could go on and on. Our rival, if I'm not mistaken, our rival in this league, is it still the Ice Holes?
The Ice Holes are still our biggest rival. And guess what? Guess what, Freak Nation? We are crushing the Ice Holes right now. The Ice Holes are in the bottom of the league with only 8 points on the season. They are 4 points behind Speed Freaks Hockey Club right now.
So the Ice Holes, are they part of the Evel Knievel division of the league?
I mean, we got to be careful how we say that word.
It's so much so we just lost Crash. There she is. She's back.
Oh, hey.
That's great news. Statman, you look stunned that we are now owners of a hockey team.
Yeah, I can't even stand up on ice, and you're saying we're the owners of a team. I mean, come on, what can that's spectacular news,
right?
That calls for another swig of the black cherry hooch.
There you go.
Richard, as the general manager of Speed Freaks Hockey, there are a couple of questions I have regarding celebrations. Is a post-victory beer celebration still part of
mandatory?
Oh, okay, got it.
Mandatory.
Absolutely mandatory. There's a reason why we call it beer hockey. The beers are flowing, everybody. The beers are flowing because you got to loosen up before the game, right? That's what I said. When this team's going to play hard and heavy, that's what I mean. And in order to do that, you got to play loose and you got to have a couple beers in you before the game. And then when we win, and we will win out, ladies and gentlemen, I'm calling it right now. Speed Freaks Hockey Club is going to dominate C2 for the rest of the year. They're going to win out the rest of the year. And after every time, win or lose, we booze. And I guarantee we will win.
Yes.
Win or lose, we booze. Is that on the back of the T-shirt that we sell at the concession stand? That's the merch logo. Win or lose, we booze.
Whoa. Now, General Manager Richard C. Suave of Speed Freaks Hockey, will we eventually have some video of these games? And can we watch these games live on the intranet?
I don't believe the games are live streamed, but we are working on it behind the scenes. You can go ahead and follow the club on Facebook, Speed Freaks Hockey. You can also follow us on Instagram at Speed Freaks Hockey Official. The boys and girls of Speed Freaks Hockey are posting content nonstop, and that's what we're going to do. We are taking the hockey world by storm, ladies and gentlemen. Wrexham is a thing of the past, folks. Wrexham is a thing of the past. Speed Freaks Hockey is the new Wrexham. C1, we are coming for you. We are coming.
All we have to do is beat the Ice Holes.
And we did that, ladies and gentlemen. We did that last week, 8-2. Speed Freaks Hockey dominated the Ice Holes 8-2. Just blew them off the ice. Hard and heavy hockey, baby. Hard and heavy hockey.
I just expect to have the coach's name. And maybe do we? What's the name of what's home ice? What's the all of that? Can we get on that next week there, Richard?
I'm on top of it. Come on now. Like I said, our culture here is unadulterated. We're number one culture in all of beer league hockey across the world.
That's right.
Win or lose, we booze. Beat the Ice Holes.
23 years, Freak Nation. See what that gets you. Ryan Reynolds could do it. I could do it too.
Yes.
That man could do
proud.
it. Yep.
Way to go.
Nice job.
Suave, thanks for bringing this in.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Appreciate that.
Happy to be here. Thank you very much. I'm going to go drink a celebratory beer.
You're gone.
Good night.
This makes Limpy's pale in significance.
It does, doesn't it? John Force, does he own a hockey team? No. Kenny Wallace? No.
Dale Jr.? No.
We
I
do.
don't think.
We own a GDM hockey team, man.
Sweet.
Maybe. Listen, we know somebody in a network called Mav TV. Maybe we get some. Crash, you got a couple of pictures you want to get to? If Richard C. Suave can organize these pictures?
Absolutely. The last one that you uploaded.
Okay.
That one's got lots of memories on it. See if it can come on up.
Oh, yeah, man. Look at that.
Look, Boris said, wow.
So do you guys know what this night is that we are looking at?
Iron Man. This is our second anniversary.
This is our second anniversary show. And there was a Trans Am race. Or no, I think actually it was also IMSA at the Glen. Boris said finished on the podium there and flew across country to join us for our second year anniversary show. So yes, you have Ivan, the Ironman Stewart, off-road multi-time champion. You have Boris Said there in the background. And Kenny, can you explain who else is in there who we also unfortunately lost?
Well, I don't know if he's in that picture, Crasher. Jack Russell from Great White is in that picture. The dude to the far left is not the guitar player that passed. That's our good friend, freestyle motocrosser. Come on, man. All
the way to the left of the picture. Freestyle motocrosser. Yep. Wow.
Freestyle motocrosser, one of the nicest cats you'll ever meet. He's in there. I don't know why the guitar player is not in there, because that fire that happened not too long after that, when Great White was on stage, and unfortunately he was one of those that lost his life in that fire. But
Jack Russell survived that fire.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So Jack Russell, who you have your arm around in this picture, is still around. Okay, good.
It was for our second anniversary. Jack Russell and the guitarist at the time, my goodness, played live for us at, I think it was Dave and Buster's.
That is Dave and Buster's in Fontana. Yes.
We got to say goodbye quickly, man.
One more picture, from night number one. Just put it up and you guys can talk over it.
All right. Well, here we go.
The very first picture. This is how we originally shot the juice to the moose.
How's that, Crasher? Shoot the juice to the moose and Statman.
Cut it loose.
See ya.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway is not just a race. It's a spectacle. It's time to mark your calendar. Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th. 2023 is bigger and better than ever before. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. Go to WWTRaceway.com now, because the first deal is the best deal.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
If it's a weekend and there's motorsports involved, you know what that means for us. More travel. More travel means not a great diet. We're feeding off media center food where there certainly is a lack of fruits and vegetables.
Kenny, that's where Field of Greens comes from. These little jars save us on the road. This is real fruits and vegetables ground up so easy that you just mix it with your favorite drink of choice. It could be as simple as water. These guys keep us healthy on the road.
Real organic fruits and vegetables. It helps you with your heart, metabolism, your immune system. It's all right here in Field of Greens.
But hey, don't just take our word for it. Take Field of Greens yourself. And if you go to your doctor a month down the road and he or she doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? Your health is incredible. Keep it up. Then send it back. Full refund.
Go to fieldofgreens.com. Use code FREAKS for 15% off. And for recurring orders, an additional 10%. That's 25% off with the code FREAKS at fieldofgreens.com.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.